Hey Canucks fans, hope you're well. The Vancouver Canucks ended up keeping their first round pick, 15th overall in the 2025 NHL Entry Draft, and they used it to select right-handed centerman Braeden Cootes from the Seattle Thunderbirds of the WHL. Now you guys know, I admit I'm not the first and foremost prospects person here on Canucks YouTube, but I always like to say I will, once the Canucks select a guy, then I'll do my homework, do my research, and make sure that I know what I'm talking about when I talk about him. But Braeden Cootes is actually one of the few guys that I knew a little bit about, because this probably wasn't a surprise for those of us that have been following some of the Canucks media over the past couple of days. So I think many of us anticipated the Canucks trading this pick, packaging it with maybe a player or a prospect, trying to get a second line center, beef up their top six, whatever it may be. But the Canucks ended up keeping this pick, and that's kind of the sense. I even mentioned that on my shows the past couple of nights. I started to get the sense that they were going to keep it, and sure enough, as the draft went on, that's what we got. So who are we getting in Braeden Cootes? He's 18 years old, good size. He's 6 feet, 185, 190 pounds, and I would describe him as a 200-foot player, really good offensively, but also very responsible defensively, quite intense too. Quite intense. They showed a highlight on the draft of him scoring a beautiful breakaway goal and then getting nailed into the net, like really hard, by a opposing defenseman who's probably mad that he got walked. But yeah, Cootes plays the game very well, and he's a leader. He is a leader. The guys on Sportsnet were saying this could be a future captain for the Vancouver Canucks. They're really lauding this pick as a really strong pick. So let's talk about him, and I'll show you some of the stuff from Elite Prospects. So 18 years old, 6 feet, 185 pounds, right-hand shot, and he's from Sherwood Park, Alberta. I've actually been there. It's a very nice place. So Canadian boy, and playing with Seattle in the WHL. What was he ranked? Well, across the board, I see, and I won't go over all of them, but I see 14th, 16th, 18th, 22nd, 11th, 13th, 17th, 14, 21, 21, 20, 17, 14, 15, 19, 15, 14. So a lot of between like 14 and 19. So the Canucks picking 15th, right in there. I see a couple higher ones like 22. I see a couple lower ones like 11, as high as 11. So I don't think this was a stretch at all. I know some people were hoping the Canucks were going to pick Victor Eklund, who's the skilled Swedish player. Others were saying enough Swedish players, considering that the last two were Bovenlander and Lekkerimäki. Let's go for someone from Canada or wherever. Regardless of if you want, it kind of reminds me actually of when Bovenlander got drafted. There are others that wanted other guys like Zach Benson. Then there was Jonathan Lekkerimäki. There are other people that wanted other guys. Anytime you're picking in 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, if you're not in the top 6, top 8, and the consensus top picks, just like this year, then it's really a crapshoot. So we can sit here all day and say they should have picked Eklund, they should have picked this guy, they should have picked that guy. But I do know that Cootes' name was in the Vancouver media over the past few days and longer than that. Actually, Rick Dollywell was tweeting about him 2 months ago, and Patrick Alvin even said to him in that awkward Zoom interview that they've had their eye on Cootes ever since this entire season. So this Elite Prospect says, one-man forecheck, Cootes' motor and energy are undeniably elite. In a single shift, he can amass multiple retrievals, guiding opponents into a big hit, spinning off a check and passing, winning another race by winning inside position meters before the boards, and repeating over and over until the puck finds twine. Primarily a playmaker, he escapes with quick passes inside and occasionally deceives opponents to find a backdoor option. After passing, he dashes to the net to create traffic and collect loose pucks. So this guy has a motor. We saw that in those highlights and this description from Elite Prospects. And in essence, he might not be an elite goal scorer, but he's got offensive ability because he goes to the net. He's a great playmaker, as they said, and he's also intense defensively. Let's look at some of his stats, and most importantly for the Seattle Thunderbirds, 63 points in 60 games, 26 goals, 37 assists, so 63 in 60 games. Not a rough guy, only 18 penalty minutes, and was a +5. In the playoffs, another 8 points in 6 games, 2 goals and 6 assists. He was the captain for the Seattle Thunderbirds, which was pretty cool. And he was also the captain for Canada's U18 team that won the gold medal by wiping Sweden in the final. 12 points in 7 games in that tourney, 6 goals, 6 assists, a +7. So if he's captain of the Seattle Thunderbirds, he's captain of the Canada U18 team. That speaks to leadership. And that's why the Sportsnet guys were going on and on about his leadership ability and, like I said, a potential future captain of the Vancouver Canuck. This profile isn't a perfect match, but it sounds like I'm talking a bit about Bo Horvat, who we drafted way back 12 years ago now in 2013. Two-way center, probably known more for his offense than defense. This guy sounds a little bit more intense, but a bigger body like Horvat was, and definitely a lot of leadership potential here in Braeden Cootes, just like they saw in Bo Horvat. So again, not a perfect comparison, similarities, but enough similarities there where you can kind of see where, why people might be so high on Braeden Cootes. So there we go. A quick profile on him. Usually with a guy drafted 15th overall, and we've seen it in Lekkerimäki, who was also a 15th overall pick back in 2022. It probably won't make the team next year right off the bat, although we could use a center. So we're looking at least a draft +1 or maybe even a draft +2. Centers usually forwards usually get to the big leagues quicker than say defensemen or goaltenders. So let's not get our hopes up about him saving the team this year, but maybe he's got an outside shot to make the team in his draft +1 next season. And then the season after that, maybe we look at him making an impact for sure. But I like this pick. Because he's been on the Canucks radar because of everything I've heard of him and seen of him today and learned about him. I think he's going to be a very important piece of the Canucks history, the Canucks franchise, I should say, going forward. Even if the impact isn't immediate, we will certainly see what happens as a WHL guy. So no college here, so likely look to see him in Abbotsford next season for at least 1 year, if not more. So Canucks fans, let me know your thoughts. What was your reaction when the Canucks indeed selected Braeden Cootes at 15th overall? Did you have your eye on other guys like Eklund, for example? Or let me know about your first impressions of this pick. With a mid-rounder, a mid-teen, like Lekkerimäki, like Bovenlander, it's so tough to say. And they showed a graphic on the broadcast about some really, really good 15th overall picks. And I'll end my vlog by telling you a very quick story about a 15th overall pick. 2019, I saw Cole Caulfield get picked 15th overall by the Montreal Canadiens. Many Vancouver Canucks fans wanted the Canucks to pick Caulfield, but we ended up picking Vasily Podkolzin, who in a weird sort of way has turned into Evander Kane. I don't think anyone anticipated that. But as you guys know, tonight I am volunteering at my daughter Kayla's after grad party, and then I'll pull an all-nighter, I'll volunteer, and then I will help with the cleanup, come home, and then tomorrow will be day 2 of the NHL draft. We are hosting a party for here at our house. The last time I volunteered at one of my kids' after grad parties was when the Canucks hosted the draft in 2019. I just talked about Podkolzin and Caulfield. That night I went home, volunteered at Sean's after grad, and then came to the draft the next day actually with Sean. It was kind of funny. He was the same age as all the prospects. I told him actually to dress up in a suit no one's going to pick him obviously because he doesn't play hockey, but it'd be cool if the camera panned past him and it looked like he was one of the prospects. Anyways, on that day 2 of the draft, heading to Vancouver, heading to Rogers Arena, that's when they announced the trade for JT Miller from the Tampa Bay Lightning. So I say that, will we have some fireworks? Will we have a trade to announce, to break down some exciting news, transaction from the Canucks tomorrow? Only time will tell. For now, I got to help clean up the house, take a quick nap, and then I'm going to be at Hugh Boyd School for 8 hours, basically from 11 p.m. to about 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. And then we'll see what happens. We'll see if there's any Canucks news to react to tomorrow. So Canucks fans, let me know in the comments below your thoughts on the Canucks picking Braeden Cootes at 15th overall. Shout out to my sponsors, Van City Experts Real Estate, GassyJackArt.com, Coach Patrick Lou, weight loss coach, and thanks to all of you, legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Line Change, legendary Carol Bovenlander, legendary Brian Blingy Choi, legendary Andrew Chang, Hall of Fame franchise members. Thanks for your support, and thanks to all of you for watching, liking, and subscribing. You can like the video, subscribe, and you can leave a late donation on your way out. But most importantly, let me know in the comments below your thoughts on this pick by the Vancouver Canucks. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Enjoy the rest of the draft. God bless, and go Canucks go.